On Tuesday morning, my dishwasher broke. Yes, just 2 days before Thanksgiving, I got up, I opened my dishwasher expecting to see clean dishes as I had set it to run before I went to bed on Monday. Despite the clean light being on, the dishes were anything but. The casserole dish was still full of sauce. The mug still had ice cream remnants. The dishes were not clean. Thinking the error had been a human one, I checked the detergent and I started the appliance again. Lo and behold, within 5 minutes, the light came on again, claiming my dishes were clean, but they weren't. The panic set in. With Thanksgiving just a few days away, as a good New Yorker, I put in my maintenance request and checked our paper goods supply. How would I host without my dishwasher? How many casserole dishes and large bowls would I need to use? How was I going to clean them all in between and while cooking? What menu items should I ditch or change? How would I possibly accomplish this Herculean task? Okay, it's true that there was a time when I didn't have a dishwasher and I did manage to cook and clean just fine. But this week, for this Thanksgiving, it didn't feel like I was capable of getting by without my dishwasher anymore. This dishwasher is just one more convenience, one more modern tool that I have come to rely on. Microwaves, microphones, computers, iPhones, printers. We've built our lives around using these things. And while we are capable of living without them, the slightest glitch in the operating system, and we are frozen with incapacity. This week, we read one of my favorite lines in the entire Torah. Vayikatz Yaakov mishnato, vayomer achein yesh Adonai b'makom hazeh, va'anochi lo yadati. Jacob woke up from his sleep and declared, surely God was in this place, and I didn't know it. After fleeing his brother's wrath and witnessing angels going up and down a ladder, Jacob realizes that God is with him. This is a beautiful moment, not simply because Jacob connects with the divine and realizes God's presence has been with him all along, but because in this moment, Jacob has nothing. He has spent the night on the ground in the desert with only a rock for a pillow. With not even the bare necessities, Jacob becomes aware of what is truly necessary. Jacob turns that stone pillow into a pillar anointed with oil, and he makes a vow to God. Jacob promises his devotion in exchange for only his basic needs being met. If God protects him, feeds him, clothes him, and helps him get home, Jacob will follow Adonai. He doesn't ask for much. He doesn't ask for God to show off with some kind of fancy miracle or ornate display of power. He doesn't want riches or stature. The man who just a few chapters ago swindled his brother out of a birthright and an inheritance is no longer concerned with these worldly, superficial things. Jacob merely asks that God provide him with the bottom row of Maslow's hierarchy of needs: food, clothing, shelter, safety. The essentials, with no modern or biblical conveniences. Maslow's pyramid places our physiological and security needs on the bottom, not because they are lesser, but because they are foundational. You cannot build a pyramid without a secure base, and you cannot craft a life of comfort without first having essentials. A student will learn nothing in class if they are hungry. A carpenter cannot build if their hands are shaking from the cold. We cannot offer safety to another when we do not feel safe ourselves. Jacob asks God for the basics because that is what he needs to ensure that he can learn from the world, build a home for his future family, and guide the children of Jacob to become the light unto the world that they are destined to be. In the moments when I wondered if my dishwasher would be fixed, I realized we didn't need to have turkey with gravy and mashed potatoes and green beans and stuffing and cranberries and pie and cookies and more and more and more and more. Everyone would still enjoy the meal without my famous cake that requires me using 67 little bowls for preparation. And as long as we all sat at the table together for even just an hour, the obligation and the ritual elements of this holiday would be satisfied. Thanksgiving, while full of extravagance, is a reminder of what we actually need: to be surrounded by those who matter to us, to be satiated with food, with shelter, and with safety, to be grateful for the things we have. Because when we, like Jacob, have our basic needs met, we are able to find God and to connect to our true selves and make something even more spectacular for others. And when we stop using the appliances that we desperately believe we need, we discover our own capabilities, the things we can do with our hands, our brains, our hearts, that have been dulled with each press of the modern button. A face-to-face conversation can amplify more in our hearts than microphones and speakers will. A pen and paper can spark creativity that is more powerful than all the energy it takes to run AI. And even a chance to wash and dry dishes can create more buzz in a home than a working dishwasher. Jacob used a stone pillow, and he discovered God. What modern tool can we replace with simplicity to discover the divine around and inside of us? Shabbat Shalom.